I'm staying over tonight. Please entertain me. Catherine suddenly brought 7 friends to stay overnight during her son-in-law's absence. Not being informed of anything and having plans, I refuse. Huh? Oh come on, I told you before. I'm going to watch a play nearby tonight, and since it ends late in the evening, we're all staying here. Eh? But you'll be back soon, right? We're going out once we've dropped off our luggage, so could you please just prepare dinner and sleeping spaces? Without concern for my circumstances, she takes control of the situation. Moreover, the necklace shining around my mother-in-law's neck looks familiar. Having endured my mother-in-law's unchecked behavior without objecting, I finally reached my limit. That's impossible, we're going on a trip from now. Huh? A trip? Who are you going with? My mother-in-law, who usually doesn't hear backtalk from me, is surprised by my refusal. I finally put an end to my mother-in-law's excessive harassment. Please give back that necklace. Punishment is meted out for my mother-in-law's repeated misdeeds. My name is Emily, a 30-year-old housewife. After getting married, utilizing my administrative experience, I worked as a computer class instructor. Tom, my husband, served as the president of a subsidiary run by my father-in-law and seemed busy daily. Although he sometimes appears contemplative with a serious expression, I was reassured seeing him unwind and enjoy our favorite movie dates on his days off. Being with Emily lightens my shoulders, he would say, and if I could care for Tom's heart even a little, it brought me joy. Ideally, I could offer advice or suggestions, but I struggled to communicate my thoughts. Since childhood, I've preferred listening to others rather than talking about myself, and my brother, who is 4 years my senior, always took care of me. Although I disliked. Thanks to Tom, who says he feels at ease when he is with me, I was able to gain a little confidence. Tom also has an older brother who served as the vice president of his father's company. Karen, his wife, was a career woman who also possessed both reliability and kindness, contrasting with me. I truly admired her ability to firmly express her opinions to anyone. But she does not force her views on others, she accepts their thoughts and responds flexibly. Seeing her talk back to my mother-in-law, I couldn't help but think she was cool. Unfortunately, since they live far away, I could only see them occasionally. On the other hand, my mother-in-law had the dignified behavior fitting of a company president's daughter and was always confident. However, there was also a glimpse of arrogance in insisting on going through with whatever she decided or thought. Emily, you're the wife of Tom, the president. You should quit being a computer class instructor and support your husband devotedly. When she said that with such a sharpness, I was completely overwhelmed by the immense pressure. Tom backed me up at that time, but my mother-in-law looked dissatisfied. I thought it was good that my mother-in-law lived far away. I hoped that the peaceful life with Tom would continue like this and that we would be blessed with children someday. Just then, I received a message that my father-in-law had passed away from a myocardial infarction. It was so sudden that nobody could accept it as reality. However, Tom and his brother had to consider taking over the work and the structure of the company even under such circumstances, so Tom decided to stay in New York for a while. I went back home once and waited for a call from Tom. With additional significant responsibilities now added to the 2 who were already in pressure-filled positions, I was worried. And, after numerous consultations with his brother, it was decided that they would be transferred to the New York head office. His brother would become president, and Tom would take on the role of vice president. We searched for a house in New York and bought a newly built single-family home. Although it was a bit far from the station, the location wasn't too urban, providing a sense of security. Despite being found in a hurry, it had good sunlight and seemed to be a comfortable place to live. Tom worked overtime for a while due to handover tasks, so at home, he ensured a comfortable environment and prepared nutritious meals. I wanted to support him as much as I could. And before we knew it, a month had passed. I'm home. I'm so hungry. Thanks for your hard work staying out late. I'll get dinner ready. Thank you. Hey Emily, Mom wants to come visit us this weekend. Is that okay? I was relieved because I was worried that my mother-in-law might be depressed since my father-in-law passed away. Of course. There are still some places that aren't tidy, but she's more than welcome. Thanks. Then, I'll let her know. Oh, should I invite my brothers too? Yeah. That sounds good. It might be imprudent, but it was also a joy that, having moved here, we were closer to my brother-in-law and his wife and could meet up now and then. And over the weekend, everyone gathered to share updates and memories of our father-in-law. It's very sad that Dad is gone, but I think I can't stay depressed forever, so I started taking classes. Seeing my mother-in-law's energetic face was a relief. She was always elegant, always wearing beautiful dresses and lovely accessories. Today, too, she was fashionably dressed, her light purple scarf standing out. She seemed to have lost a little weight, but her robustness in sharply discussing the company management with Tom and my brother-in-law hasn't changed. However, since my father-in-law passed away, I felt that the strict comments she occasionally showed me had increased. Emily, we're running low on drinks. Please go buy some. Mother, I can go buy them. Oh. Can I ask you then? Was she being considerate to my sister-in-law, or was she just ordering me around? Assuming she must have been dealing with loneliness and conflict after losing her husband, I kind of let it slide and observed the situation. After dinner, Tom sent everyone home, and that was the end of it. After that, for some reason, my mother-in-law began to visit our house frequently. And she started criticizing my housekeeping and complaining about my sister-in-law. Furthermore, she started looking inside places like the refrigerator, and I couldn't hide my surprise, thinking, is this really necessary? Emily, Tom is busy right now, so you need to pay more attention to the meals. What will you do if Tom collapses? Yes, I will be careful. And look here, there's still garbage left. How can you not clean perfectly? I apologize. It was like this. It seemed like she was bullying her daughter-in-law to kill time. However, when my sister-in-law visited, she would say she had something to do and leave hastily. My sister-in-law said, maybe she doesn't like me, but I felt that probably wasn't the case. It's likely easier for her to say various things to me, who doesn't resist, compared to my sister-in-law, who clearly expresses her opinions. I thought I should find a job soon and reduce the time I spend at home. However, even after I found a job, my mother-in-law frequently visited our house and the harassment intensified. Emily, our soy sauce is also out, so buy some when you go shopping. Oh, and I brought a container, so I'll take some side dishes home, okay? She was doing as she pleased, and part of me was somewhat astounded. Even though she could just buy luxury deli items from the department store instead of taking our side dishes home. Shortly thereafter, an incident occurred. I had lost the necklace I cherished. It was my mother's keepsake, and I had gently placed it on a shelf in my room, but now it's gone. The only person I could think of was my mother-in-law, who often visits the house. I didn't want to suspect her, but she has been looking around the house and probably knows where most things are. I searched all over the house, but to no avail, so I decided to ask my mother-in-law. Then, a tremendous roar of anger was hurled at me. You lost it yourself, didn't you? It's awful to suspect me. What kind of person does that? I'm sorry. I've looked in all the places I can think of, but couldn't find it. It's my mother's keepsake and is very important to me. I was more saddened by the loss of my mother's keepsake than being yelled at, and tears streamed down my face. I don't care. If it's just a necklace, why don't you have Tom buy you a new one? It's not about getting a new one. I thought she wouldn't understand my feelings and gave up talking further. However, thereafter, the disappearance of money from my wallet and various items from the interior continued. I was paying close attention to my mother-in-law's actions, but there was no sign of her taking anything. Confused and emotionally drained, I was at my wits' end. When I consulted with my sister-in-law, whom I could no longer bear alone, she definitively suspected my mother-in-law. Indeed, no other people were coming and going, and I was saddened to think that it must be true. However, there was no evidence to prove the theft, and I didn't understand why she would do such a thing. She has been able to continue living affluently with the inheritance left by my father-in-law. My sister-in-law, seeing my desperate situation, made a suggestion. However, I never thought at this time that it would develop into such a situation. Half a month after consulting with my sister-in-law. Well, I'll be going then. Emily, don't worry, and enjoy your trip. Okay, take care. Tom and my brother-in-law were going on a business trip for a meeting with a distant company. And I was invited to take a trip sometimes by my sister-in-law who knew their schedule. I was glad to have a trip after a long time since I had been physically and mentally exhausted recently. After preparing early and placing my travel bag at the entrance, I waited for the departure time. Then, the intercom rang. Wondering who it could be when I looked at the monitor, there was my mother-in-law, and she was not alone. Yes. Hello, Emily. I'm with some friends. Could you open the door? When I opened the front door, there stood my mother-in-law with about 7 friends, all carrying large bags. I wondered if they were going somewhere. We're staying over tonight. Please accommodate us. What? Oh, didn't I tell you? We're watching a theater performance nearby tonight, but since it ends late, we're all staying here. This was news to me. And I also had my departure time approaching. Oh dear, are we causing you trouble? Catherine told us your daughter-in-law was insisting we come. I had heard nothing of this, and it seemed like she had fabricated a story. Annoyed, I firmly responded. I'm sorry. I haven't heard anything about this, and I have plans. What? She looked surprised at my refusal. But you'll be back soon, right? We will go out once we drop off our luggage, so just prepare dinner and sleeping spaces for us, okay? Despite me saying I had plans, she disregarded them. I couldn't back down now. I can't. I am going on a trip. What? A trip? Who with? With Karen. Oh, with your sister-in-law. You can go anytime with her. We made plans and came all the way here for today. How long do you intend to keep us waiting at the entrance? As my mother-in-law leaned forward, I noticed something sparkling around her neck. Wait, what's that necklace, mother-in-law? Incredibly, the necklace that the mother-in-law was wearing was the same as my mother's keepsake. Mother-in-law, what happened with that necklace? What do you mean, what happened? This is part of my collection. Is there a problem? The mother-in-law responded with a composed face. It couldn't be. The necklace was a limited edition, not widely available. While they were having this exchange, the sister-in-law arrived. I thought it was strange that you didn't show up even after our meeting time had passed and there was no contact, so I came and this was happening, huh? I'm sorry for not contacting you. The sister-in-law immediately sensed that something had happened just by looking at my expression. What happened? I was disturbed because the necklace the mother-in-law is wearing is the same as the keepsake necklace from my mother that went missing recently. Eh? The one that got lost even though it was put in that box? The sister-in-law spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear. Then, the mother-in-law hurriedly pulled us aside and began speaking in a low voice that her friends couldn't hear. Stop it. How disgraceful. Are you trying to say I stole it? Yes, I honestly think it's strange. The sister-in-law answered clearly. Then do you have evidence that I stole it? It's really embarrassing to have such senseless daughters-in-law. Please don't shame me in front of my friends. With that, the mother-in-law turned back to her friends with a smile. Now, everyone, sorry to keep you waiting. Shall we go inside? Just as the mother-in-law was about to enter, I remembered something. The initial. My mother's initial should be engraved on the necklace. Mother-in-law, please show it to us. The sister-in-law immediately went behind the mother-in-law to check. Stop it, enough is enough. What was your mother's name? Yvonne Alba. Y.A. Found it. The alphabet Y.A. The mother-in-law's friends stepped back, appalled. Stop it, please. It's intolerable to be treated like this. Everyone, let's go. No, we won't let you escape. Sensing the seriousness of the situation, the friends said, "We're not involved," and hurriedly walked toward the station. Wait. It must be some mistake. The mother-in-law tried to chase after her friends in a panic, but was stopped by someone. Mom, what are you doing? Eh? Why are you here? Weren't you supposed to be on a business trip? The person standing there was Tom. Actually, Tom's business trip was from the next day. To investigate the mother-in-law's actions, Tom had lied about his schedule to her. A fortnight ago, after discussing the missing items with the sister-in-law, she advised talking to Tom about it and they did so together. At first, Tom couldn't believe it, but when he visited his parents' home and noticed several pieces of the same interior as ours, the possibility of theft turned into certainty. However, thinking that she could make any number of excuses without evidence, he came up with today's strategy. It was unexpected for me to bring a friend for an overnight stay, but if Tom was not around on a holiday, it was inevitable that my mother-in-law would visit our home. What do you want at the house? Oh, I was just about to leave since I'm done here. See you. I stopped my mother-in-law, who was about to leave. Please return that necklace. Isn't that necklace a keepsake from Emily's parents? Why do you have it, Mom? No, it's not like that. It was in my bag. Emily must have set me up. Fearing she would be at a disadvantage, my mother-in-law suddenly shifted the blame onto me. Do you really think that lie will work? Emily would never do something like that. First, give the necklace back to Emily. We can talk after that. Reluctantly, my mother-in-law took off the necklace, threw it on the ground, and tried to run away. Hey, wait a minute. The three of us tried to chase after her, but we stopped immediately. There was no need to chase her anymore. Why? In front of my mother-in-law stood the police, and there were as many as 10 of them. I didn't understand what was happening and just stared at the unusual scene. A policeman then said, "We received a report from a resident. They said the person causing the disturbance enters the house even when the homeowner is not there, and asked us to come quickly. What are you talking about? I am the mother of the son who lives here. How can you report a family matter? My mother-in-law said in disbelief. Wait, what do you mean she enters when we're not around? I've never done such a thing. I always come when you're here. Did the person who reported this say anything else? Upon checking with the police, they said that my mother-in-law was seen sneaking into our inner garden and likely using a spare key to enter the house. Indeed, I had hidden a spare key under a potted plant in the garden for emergencies, which gave me chills. It made sense why things were disappearing without me noticing. Tom had thought of this possibility and planned to monitor my mother-in-law's actions during our absence. However, he never expected the truth to be revealed this way. Mom, why did you enter our house without permission while we were away? That's a lie. Are you accusing me based on some unknown source's story? But you had my precious necklace with you just now, didn't you? As I said, it was just in my bag by chance. A police officer stepped forward and said in a calm tone, "We will hear your side of the story at the station. I've been telling you it's not true." Tom, tell them. Tell them I haven't done anything. Mom, stop it. I don't understand what you're thinking. Why did you do this? At her son's words, my mother-in-law sank to the ground. Because, just when it seemed she had no way out and was about to admit defeat, my mother-in-law suddenly became furious. After your father passed away, I felt so lonely. Yet, this woman always had a smile on her face and I couldn't stand it. When I see her troubled face, it soothes me. I wanted to make her feel my pain. At this outrageous reasoning, Tom's face turned red. Tom, wait. Let me talk. I felt the need to confront the situation head-on and stood in front of an angry Tom. I understand your situation, mother-in-law. Maybe I was wrong to always brush off our conversations. However, stealing is another story. Did you want to trouble me? Are you kidding? Did this twisted, dirty method of tormenting others make you happy? Did it fill your loneliness? Shut up. What do you know about me? I don't know unless you tell me when things are hard. What? Don't mock me. Why would I tell someone like you, you worthless daughter-in-law? Mom, enough. Emily is right. It seemed that the situation wouldn't improve, so the police stepped in again and said to my mother-in-law, "Let's go. I can't believe you're taking me in, even though we're family." My mother-in-law resisted, but the combination of eyewitness reports of trespassing and the theft suspicion due to possessing my item led to her being taken in for questioning. The mother-in-law was arrested on charges of trespassing and theft. It's said that she kept objecting, claiming, "Get me a lawyer, I am innocent, and I can't eat this kind of food." However, when visited by her father during a prison visit, she was furiously told to reflect on what you've done, and changed her attitude, crying and apologizing, which was surprising. For the mother-in-law, who had always lived as she pleased, her father seemed to be the only being she couldn't defy. Moreover, he told her, "Unless you genuinely reflect, think of having no place to return." She reluctantly accepted her situation. Perhaps, after losing her husband, the mother-in-law was trying to find her place. I wonder if the fancy clothes and jewelry were her armor to maintain her strength. I even think that her differing attitude towards my sister-in-law and me might have been a facade to hide her vulnerabilities. However, excessive desires and the inability to control them are separate issues. Her inability to make sound decisions and her overreactions led to this incident. While we intended to catch her stealing, We were surprised it escalated this much and were genuinely scared when we found out she had been using a spare key to enter our home without permission. Later, we learned that the couple living diagonally across from us had reported her. The wife, who worked from home, had seen the mother-in-law entering our yard suspiciously multiple times and thought it was strange. We are genuinely grateful for their courageous act. Since then, we've been living peacefully. We changed our locks for caution and stopped leaving a key in the courtyard. Tom cut ties with the mother-in-law and made her promise never to contact them again, or if she tried to, she would have to pay compensation. After her release, the mother-in-law returned to her rural family home and is said to be leading a simple life, the complete opposite of her former flashy lifestyle. Under the watchful eye of her father, she is helping around the house from early in the morning. I hope she genuinely reflects on her past excessive behaviors. On the other hand, my father will be coming to stay with us. He's considering this to ensure my safety just in case the mother-in-law tries to visit our home again. Additionally, there's another reason my father is coming. In fact, I am currently pregnant with our first child. With a kind father eagerly waiting for the birth of his grandchild and the reliable Tom by my side, I too wish to become a mother who embodies both kindness and strength. Indeed, money and material possessions can fulfill us. However, I believe that what truly fulfills our hearts is the presence of those we cherish. We're also discussing living together, and I want to protect our daily lives where everyone feels secure and surrounded by loved ones.